At 22 years old, freshly graduated with a degree in advertising, Liam was driven by one obsession: views. Ever since TikTok exploded, he had thrown himself headfirst into a cycle of increasingly extreme videos. Bridge jumps, illegal street races, trespassing, chases. Risk was the content. Content was life, and every video had to be crazier than the last. His latest one had already passed 500,000 views. He couldn't stop there. That night, he had an idea that to him seemed brilliant. He decided to surf on top of a car going 70 miles per hour. It came to him just past midnight, a flash of inspiration mixed with caffeine, ego, and the weight of every like, share, and comment he'd ever received. He scribbled the plan on a napkin, not because he needed to, but because it made it feel like a mission. He enlisted the help of Caleb, a hesitant friend who eventually gave in after being promised a cut of the video's monetization profits. The plan was simple: a straight, empty road, a GoPro mounted on the hood, and a rope tied to the roof rack. No helmet, no safety gear. The look had to be raw, real, dangerous. They chose a stretch of rural highway, miles outside Phoenix, where no streetlights cut through the dark and no cops usually patrolled. The air was cold, sharp, and still, perfect for risk. They arrived before dawn. Caleb kept looking around, biting his lip, asking if they were really doing this. Liam laughed. "We'll get 1,000,000 views easy," he said, "and maybe a sponsor. Deal." That was enough. With the engine running, Caleb took the wheel. Liam was already climbing onto the roof with near-blind confidence. The sky was starting to brighten into a metallic gray. The road ahead looked endless. The world slowed down. The car started moving. 5, 10, 15 miles per hour. Holding the rope, Liam stood on top of the car. With one hand free, he managed to strike the surfer pose he was aiming for. The wind hit hard against his face, lashing at his skin. The first few seconds felt easy. He was still smiling, but the acceleration didn't stop. 50, 70 miles per hour. The pressure on his chest felt like a weight pressing inward. The car's metal roof vibrated under his feet, and he struggled to keep his knees bent, his center of gravity low. It wasn't surfing. It was survival. He had no control. The rope wasn't tight. His foot slipped once and he recovered, but barely. The wind turned into a brutal, invisible wall. The sound became deafening. Liam began to tremble. The roof's vibrations grew stronger. The rope started to shake violently, almost snapping. His body, pushed by the force of the wind, began sliding against his will. Then the car hit a slight bump in the road. That was all it took. Liam lost his balance and slipped. His stomach scraped the roof. In a matter of seconds, he spun through the air, completely out of control, before being violently thrown backward. His scream was drowned in wind. For a split second, he was weightless, his limbs flailing in open air. Then gravity yanked him down. Caleb, hearing the sharp impact, glanced in the rearview mirror and slammed on the brakes. Liam's body bounced across the asphalt at over 90 miles per hour. His arms hit first, then his head. His body skidded, flipped, twisted across the pavement. He was thrown more than 20 meters before coming to a stop, lying on his side. His skin was torn, his face disfigured. The GoPro was still recording, now pointed at the colorless sky. Caleb ran back in a panic, trying to reach him. Liam wasn't moving. The ambulance arrived 15 minutes later. His condition was critical. Multiple fractures, internal bleeding, severe brain trauma. He was breathing, but unconscious. Part of his skull was exposed. His fingers were completely destroyed, a desperate attempt to hold on to the impossible. The doctors didn't give false hope. Machines kept him alive. His mother collapsed when she saw him, tubes running out of his body, his jaw broken, one eye swollen shut, the other never to open again. 36 hours later, Liam died in the hospital. He never regained consciousness. The video, however, survived. Someone got hold of the footage. It spread through forums, then Reddit, and finally TikTok. It went viral, millions of views, sensationalist titles, detailed breakdowns, influencer, reactions, expert takes. But Liam was no longer a name. He was just a frozen image in a thumbnail with red letters. A moment of impact in an endless loop. Would you have the guts to do what he did? Let me know in the comments. Hit the like button and subscribe for more dumb decisions. See you in the next video.